Hello, this is Vulturefire, and today's video is going to be a multi-hit Paladin run because I asked people in the Discord which run they wanted to see me record, and one day mentioned multi-hit Paladin. So the biggest piece of tech that I haven't finished building this deck yet, obviously. Just going to eat the entire pool because I haven't even looked at that yet. This was a different deck. So the biggest piece of tech that Paladin multi-hit picked up in the beta patch is that Voltaic Surge now gives powerful 1 that's non-temporary powerful 1 if you are supercharged. So this means that this was already a very good card for basically any Paladin list because supercharging consistently is great. This is a way to get us to a multi-hit attack. And now it just has the added benefit of if we are supercharged, then instead of getting the energy, this can be a way to start stacking powerful, which is always good. Although I expect to hit the problem that I find myself often hitting in aggressive starting decks, which is that any way to stack powerful is less useful when you are winning quickly, and these decks tend to win fairly quickly. But it'll still be great anyway, because unlike say Gather Power or Bold Move, where you're giving up a resource in order to get that powerful, here, or you are still giving up a resource, which is that you are playing this card while you're supercharged, which means that you are giving up one of your supercharged energy to get this longer term bonus. However, this card gets you towards that supercharge. It generates the same currency that it spends, basically. So this is like if Bold Move was, if you are hidden, lose hidden, gain powerful 1, otherwise gain hidden. Or if Gather Power gave you Mighty if you couldn't. Actually, that's an idea. I should suggest that in the Discord. But this is, because this both fuels itself effectively, that makes that a lot more consistent for words. It makes that a lot more consistent for not being a dead card when you draw it. So the other notes, I know that I want Frost Strike because Frost Rune is just very, very powerful. I know that I want at least 1 Galvanized Blade, but I don't know if I want 2. Galvanized Blade is upside, 2 temporary powerful, which is nice. It gives you Shock Rune, which is not as valuable in this list because Shock only increases base damage, and our base damage on each hit will be fairly low. But Shocking Things does trip Paladin's level 4. That'll give us some sturdy, and that's nice. The main thing, though, is Galvanized Blade is expensive. It is functionally a 4-mana card to get the real value out of it because we do want to get that double slash. And if we want to upgrade the double slash, it requires some precise play. So that can be a bit awkward. So Follow-Up Strike I think I want. This is 2x2 damage to the first enemy, additional 2x2 damage if it is played right after a strike. I think that is likely to do a lot of good things for us because that will give us... So if we supercharge, we will get a strike automatically. We'll get that charged blade, so that's one way to get it. The Galvanized Blade will get us there. And then this is just 4 hits, which is not a small number. Like, Frost Strike into this is a freeze on any normal enemy. Aside from that, we want at least 1 Distill Elements. I'm not certain if we want 2 to go with our Voltaic Surge, because I'll just make it easier for us to consistently play Voltaic Surges when we want to. We definitely want, I think, 2 Quick Starts, because I think these are potentially temporary powerful, but they're also energy. I think that's important for us. The other cards I'm less certain about. So I would like to have, maybe like a Frozen Hide to go with the Distill Elements. However, Frozen Hide doesn't directly do anything for us, which is a bummer. If I was going to take, one defensive card, I think Glacial Bulwark makes more sense because that gives us shield, which we otherwise can't get. But I'm not certain that that's what we want to do either. Because the other option we can do is we can just go with like one of the free shield cards, which would mean like Overflowing Barrier probably. And I haven't decided yet what I want to do in that department. So we have 3 spots left. We sort of have card draw because supercharging from Voltaic Surge will draw us cards potentially. We kind of want more strikes. Let's just look at all the strikes. I don't hate Nimble Strike. Actually is pretty good potentially because this gives us, it only gives us critical 1, but that could still be worthwhile. Slash hits 3 times. Poison Darts hitting 3 times is pretty nifty. Rallying Strike would only draw us into the Frost Strike. We don't want Increasing Stab because that only hits once. I think it's Poison Dart or Nimble Strike are the two that I'm really looking at right now. And I do really kind of want to have access to, I really do kind of want to have access to critical. This gives us that in the starting deck. I also do want Poisoned Darts. I think I want a focus. So kind of my other, clicking this one just quickly unsort. Kind of my other thought here is like I want, I kind of want a shield generation card, which I don't know what it would be. Like we could just run the, we may not need shield generation if we're planning to win fast enough, but I don't think we can. The other card though that we do really kind of want to have a copy of is Frag Blast, because Fragmented Blast upgrades to be 2x2 damage. So it's basically 2x6 damage to the first enemy, which is just so many hits. It does kind of demand an upgrade. I don't like Frag Blast much until it does get that upgrade, but that is a heck of an upgrade. I am also like going back and forth on that Nimble Strike, because I think that the Nimble Strike is in a spot that the Frag Blast would be in. Just building decks is difficult. This is kind of the challenge of building these starting decks, is that there's a very limited amount of space to fit the stuff in, and you want to fit so many different things in. I think we do run the Frag Blast over the Nimble Strike, but I'm not sold on that being correct. And then I think we want one defensive card, which I think is going to be the Glacial Bulwark. Oh, but the Hobble is also decent. But I like Glacial Bulwark because it gives us actual shield, and shield does give us a slight percentage damage buff because we're Paladin. So, final answer, that's our starting 12. Now, the rest of our card pool. To begin with, let's just look for Powerful. We want Power Surge. I don't know that we want Burst of Strength. I think we do want Demonic Power. It does require some healing to counteract, but I think that should be easy enough to find. Rupture Strike, I don't know. I think we needed a little too much Powerful going in for Rupture Strike to be consistent. I don't think we want more Galvanized Blades, but I would take more Voltaic Surges, I think. And so with that in mind, I'm going to go ahead and, while I'm thinking about it, grab Absorb Element, because I think that that is a very good card for this deck. We may also want to Purify, because that would, having either that or the Absorb Element will let us start upgrading Voltaic Surges, and I think that being able to do that is very valuable to us. We'll always take these. They're just general purpose good cards. I think we want increasing mana seems good. I don't know if we have enough spells to justify Twinning Ritual. I don't really like Lightning Blade, I think. It's not a bad card here, but I think that we can't quite afford that much Self-Shock, and we'd rather spend the Self-Shock on our Voltaic Surges. Empower seems okay. It is a card that I have not been as impressed by as you might expect, largely just because it does need you to have stuff going. You have to already have stuff going for you for it to generate enough value. You like Aether Storm, that hits a lot of times. I do like Super Beam's not really on theme, but I one day did request this, and one day is a big fan of people playing Super Beam, and you know I'm not opposed to playing Super Beam. It is a fun card. I think we need at least one more mana card though. I just wasn't sure which one we wanted. I think it's Spry Vigor. And then I actually think I might take Descent into Madness just because we're playing a self-status deck. And like, Descent into Madness is a card that I designed and I love it so much. So, take Battle Ready. We will take... That doesn't do anything for us. Take Mind Siege, sure. I don't think we can afford mana, or I don't think we can make mana ritual work. We'll take Hunt. Last Resort is a card that I'm not sure if I like or not. Stinging Strike seems good. Surprise Attack seems fine. We're not on the Tyrannical Focus plan. I don't think Spark quite works for us, but it might. I don't think we're quite deep enough into into not drawing stuff that we would take Weary Concentration. We do absolutely want Arcane Strike. We do absolutely want Contemplate, because that's just good card draw. I really like Deploy Shield as just a fire and forget way to get shield. But I don't know that we're going to have space for it. Just always this challenge of finding enough room for all the cards that you want to play. I don't know if I can, I don't know if I can justify Warcry even. Let's do Bombardment. That seems fun. It's on theme. I want one more card, draw a card. I just don't know which one it's going to be. I also like Mana Bolt a decent amount here. Why is Shocking Blast so bad? Why is Shocking Blast still so bad? Shielding Bolt kind of makes sense. Trying to think what other multi-hit things there are that we aren't using. Overthink a bit. I don't really like Lightning Field. Oh man, I didn't even think it's at 5 mana yet. No, we can't justify that. I don't hate that, but I don't think we have enough shock to justify it. I think Arcane Vision seems okay here. It's not the best thing ever, but it's not the worst. We'll just see how it goes. So, this is kind of where my decks tend to end up here, which is that I can't quite ever justify, I can't ever quite fit all the pieces I want. Or more specifically, once I have put in what I see as the boring basics, stuff like, I want to have Contemplate, it's just an efficient card, draws card. I want to have, a certain, a decent amount of mana cards, because I just like having a lot of mana. I want to have the Sanctuary and the Cleansing Shield and stuff like that. Then you just don't have that many. Oh, I want Charge Strike more than I want Arcane Visions. See if there are any other Paladin cards. You just end up with a fairly limited amount of deck space. I do, like I said, I do want to fit in Deploy Shield, but I don't know what I would cut for it. We could probably afford to cut one mana card, but So this is a fairly aggressive deck. It has a little bit of defense, not much, but just a touch to help us get rolling. Ideally, we will be able to cut some of that defense. Yeah, Warbot. We're not going to buy Warbot. We don't need Warbot. Okay. So all that seems reasonable. All right. Wish we could see the map. Because if we're fighting Munchroom, I would absolutely take this. I think Sanctuary is just such a great safety pick to just have. Tormenting Glove seems very good. That is going to mess with our focus, guarantee you, especially with all the runes. But I mean, I'm not going to take it. So, making me choose. So, the cards that I want here. I want Relentless Assault. I want Mana Font. I want, I don't really want either of those. So but I would like these 3 events because there's a very good chance of getting upgrades there, and just picking up free upgrades is always nice. But I think we're going to start here because I would take either of those cards. And Arcane Aegis in particular is very, very good. For Paladin, just in general. It's a defensive card that also can do offense, which is, valuable. I don't think we're getting to exact 0. We can get to exact 0, but it's not good. Because I want to get this out. So, okay, we don't have a choice, really. I have to do it in this order. Which does get us that kill, which is nice. And then we just block that. Okay. So, one of the other changes is that Charge Up can now give us mana if we are supercharged when we play it, which we will likely end up using here. We didn't need to. We just had lethal. Okay, so that went well. Brainstorm can do a lot of work to... Like, Corrupted Blast isn't bad, though. I like Brainstorm as a way to clean up, or as a way to just, like, draw cards. It's very nice. Okay. So, start by drawing cards. We can get to 0. We can get to 0 again. And now we're in a good position because we can Charged Blade into, yeah, Frag Blast into Double Slash, and then we could have follow-up striked, but we didn't have to because we had won. I think having a little bit more mana is nice. Walk in safely. We can probably afford to cut the Glacial Bulwark at this point. We have the Sanctuary. I think that that is probably enough. I mean, that could be totally wrong, but we'll see. Zap's not awful anymore. Like, there's a huge difference between costing 2 and costing 0, and the fact that it now costs outright 0 is very nice. Here's kind of one of those awkward things that can happen, where, like, this is why Frag Blast not being a strike is relevant. But, alright, so we are going to get shocked here. There's nothing we can do about it. Okay. Okay. Let's see. Galvanized Blade. That is a mana card. Okay, so we're going to supercharge, get mana. We're already kind of committed to being shocked. I don't think I can afford to spend one of our charges here on playing Voltaic Surge. Yeah, there we go. Power Surge seems okay. Emergency Shield is nice. Oh man, it's finally fixed. This used to be called Snail Shell in a couple places by accident, which was funny. But unfortunately, it does seem to be completely fixed now. Okay. And yeah, we can just get some more non-temporary powerful. So we've got 3 powerful to work with, which seems okay. Okay, let's see. I do this. And now we can do a lot of damage. Did not quite get the kill, but it doesn't matter because we have lethal here. Pretty sure that's going to be lethal when we supercharge. It will be. Supercharge. Get got. Yeah, we're not quite a turn 1 deck, but we are absolutely not a slow deck. That doesn't do a ton for us. Descended to Madness doesn't do a ton for us either yet, but it does do some things. I really like upgrading Voltaic Surge. This gets an extra hit, which is nice. These get extra double slashes, which is very good. Makes them much, much better in hands where they're alone. I think I want to, because I didn't pick up that 3rd Voltaic Surge, so I will upgrade one of these. And then I think I'm actually going to cut the Frag Blast, because I think I'm in enough upgrade debt. Like I said, I don't like that card until I've upgraded it, and I think I have too many other higher priority upgrades. Because I really want to upgrade, you know, both of the Frag Blast, not both, but both of the Galv Blades. Let's get some damage out. Okay, yeah, so there we can do that. We haven't actually done any damage to enemies yet, which is unfortunate. And the reason we haven't is because we've been dealing damage to shield. We haven't done any damage to enemy health. All right, so we do get some energy here. Yeah, this is the downside to Predator's Focus, is that you do have to actually hit their health. Okay, so which of the... So obviously this is the one we're going to play now. And then we want to use this before we use that. But I want that to be in my draw pile. Okay. So now we have a lot of stuff to work with here. Let's draw some cards. We could get more powerful, but I think we'd rather just get that kill. Well, we're kind of committed to shocking ourselves here. So let's do that. Because the thing is, this one gives us 6, which means that is immediately another supercharge. Yeah. That's kind of the trick, just to get rolling and then we're rolling. I don't know that we need the Voltaic Surge, the third one, but I don't know that we can afford a third Voltaic Surge until we get an Absorb Elements or a Purify. But it would be very good to have. We'll take the Cultivate for now. And absolutely we'll take the Doubling Spyglass. Let's see if we can get... I keep cutting Relentless Assaults in other runs, which is just kind of wild because that card's amazing. Just figuring out what I want to do. If I want to Spyglass this Galv Blade. Sure, why not? It's kind of a sketchy play here, but I'm a sketchy player, so. Oh, we didn't actually get the shock out because it died. Okay, we can get, there's what the turtle shell is for, which is we now get to block. And we should be in the clear. We're gonna have to draw some crystal. Alright, we can hit exact 0 with that. I think this will just kill. Yeah. Bonk, bonk, bonk. Just getting that kill. I think the Absorb Element is what we want. We also want, like, the Impale's not that useful. The Bombardment's fun, but the Absorb Element's what we want. Because that lets us, like I said, upgrade. That lets us way more confidently upgrade the other Galv Blast. Although, it does also mean that we do sometimes get hands like this. Which just doesn't do anything. But that's fine. Sanctuary is absolutely doing the job that we picked it up to do. Let's see. Let's play one of those first. And then do that. Okay, so we're going to do this. So we get that upgrade. This is... I'm trying to think of how we get to avoid too much overkill here. And there we go. And then... Okay. So, may as well do that. So fortunately we didn't really get attacked that turn, so it didn't matter that our turn was a little bit sketchy. Alright, so we're trying cards. Let's see. I can draw cards. I can get mana. Let's get mana. Draw a card. That applies 6 Arcane and it's going to give us more shock. I was kind of hoping to find the other thing that we didn't find. So that's going to create this. I think we're just going to shock ourselves because this thing's not going to survive the turn anyway. And then, yeah, that's just going to be good enough. Okay. I don't know that we want a second one. We'll take a hunt. Having access to critical is not the worst thing. We don't have any ways to really get advantage from the Predator, but it is what it is. Let's start by seeing what we get out of that. And out of that. Okay, so this is going to be a very good Absorb Element. So we want to be supercharged for this so that we get the extra 60% bonus. We're going to do it first because that will pop the arcane off. And we get a whole bunch of mana from that because of the tormenting gloves. And then I think we pop out of supercharged, and then we are going to go ahead and play that. I think we do really want to upgrade those Galv Blades. I think that'll make things run just a lot more smoothly for us. In this case, we are going to go ahead and copy this, because that'll get us a lot of damage. And by a lot of damage, I mean lethal. Okay, I really like Mystical Bloom, but I don't think it's what we need here. I think we'll just take the Sanctity. I think just having a little bit of card draw is nice. Vindictive Aura opens up Demonic Greed later. I really should upgrade the Demonic Madness for safety, but we're not drawing through to it enough yet. And until we're drawing through to it enough, getting that extra little bit of Arcane is actually useful. And yeah, I think the Galv Blade is the next upgrade, and I don't have anything I really want to cut, so we're just going to move on. Okay, so unfortunately we did not get the card that gives the Elemental Runes, which is, or the monster. We didn't get Elemental Amalgamation. We also didn't get Shock Dragon, but Ruby Dragon, like, both these cards are solid. We're not sad to have either of them. Let's see, that is, okay, cool. These are both pure Wisps. They're not Wisps plus Drakes, which is nice, because we would really like to pick up a Mystic Ritual to go with the rest of the nonsense we're doing. And then this is another shot at getting that. Okay. So we cannot, unfortunately, quite get everything. Well, I was going to say that we couldn't do everything we wanted to do, but we kind of can. Just have to be kind of sneaky about it. Actually, we didn't even have to be sneaky about it. We just, which is good because we absolutely could not have done what I was thinking we were going to do. All right, that's a pretty good sequence of events. 3 is exactly as much Arcane as we can get. Okay, so we need to get this off, which means, oh, this is how this works, obviously. We start by playing that, which is actually just going to kill. Hooray! I like to spend a lot of time thinking before making plays that are just instantly going to solve our problems. I don't hate having the Purify, just like extra backup. Hardened Strike costing 0 to play is nice though. It is powerful too this turn for, and some damage for 0 mana. I think Purify, so Purify is the safety pick. I think we have to take it because that lets us take, because we want to take a Shocking Focus on the top side of the map. And in order to be able to afford to do that, we are going to need whatever. Okay, so that is not lethal. And then that is. So the interesting thing is Shock Rune specifically won't trip if the strike kills the enemy because Shock isn't computed until after the thing dies, until after the full end of the hit, which is just kind of interesting. Because the other thing would have happened properly. I'm considering just Spyglassing this Sanctity just to get us more cards. Yeah, I think that this was worthwhile. Okay, so we can Surge, which lets us Supercharge. I totally thought we had more mana. It's fine. We'll get there. And then this will get us the mana we really need. And then we get lethal. We don't really want to bother rerolling here because we could reroll the next one. I don't hate Gathering Bolt. Like, it's not super on theme. We're going to take the Bombardment because, like, I haven't played Bombardment this patch, and it's Bombardment. It seems like fun. let's see. Okay. I'm debating cloning this Galv Blade. I think I'm going to do that. Like, it's not the most useful play, but it's not useless. Because then we get a double slash plus. We do have to kind of sequence this carefully to actually get value. But we're actually going to get an upgraded charge up here because perfect blocks. Which is obviously calculated and not just something that happened. Deciding how much. I think that much. Okay. Okay, I don't want to follow up with that just yet, though. Because I don't want to waste all those extra hits. Alright. So that's trying to think how things are going to play out for us. Just do that real quick. Get the shield. This one is unfortunately setting up more evasion. And the evasion decks are something we just, like, despite being ostensibly a multi-hit deck, we didn't get the Relentless Assault, and we don't have Frag Blast Plus. So we hit a decent number of times, but we don't hit enough times to get all of the value. Okay. Let's play. How lucky can I get? Answer, lucky enough. Basically, I was gambling on finding that mana there. Take another mana card. Enchanted Hammer is a kind of awkward card for Paladin, but I think it's still worthwhile. Here, I didn't take... No, I didn't take the... Oh, did I take the Gathering Bolt? Did the Gathering Bolt just vanish? Or did I take a different card? No, I took the Bombardment because I said that I had to... Because there was a bug with cards vanishing. Is why I ask. Like, one day thinks that bug is fixed, but you can't really be sure until... The thing about fixing bugs is that you cannot say for certain a bug is fixed. All you can say is, we haven't seen this bug since the last attempt to fix it. Which is not the same thing. Okay. So now we can draw some cards. All right, cool. Kind of what I was hoping to see, which is mana. Not as much mana as I would like to see. We're going to hit this thing where, like, this would theoretically proc Supercharge, but it can't because... Or it would theoretically proc the thing, the Tormenting Gloves, but the thing died before the element could go through. All right, let's see what... Because this is a safe amount of Arcane. We can't do both. There's an okay chance of getting mana. This is actually not bad. Oh, we can still do this thing. This is the safe play. Because that'll guaranteed freeze explode this. This is a much worse play if we don't get... Oh no, it's fine. Because we'll get the charge up that we could have used to get mana back if we needed to. Although I absolutely should have played this as the follow-up so that I could get out that value. But it's fine. I really like having the charge. No, I think we want to reroll and take this Mystic Ritual because I really like that Mystic Ritual. Yes, that does mean that we may not get from here, but I think the fact that both of those are elites means we get reroll shots. So I think that overall our chances are very, very good that we will find what we're looking for there. This is awkward. We want to get out this. We also really want that out first. I'm absolutely going to get this shell out because of that. And the other thing is, this, because of that shield, this won't turn this won't turn this on. But I think we want to get that frost out for next turn. Okay, so we cannot play our Mystic Ritual or our Sentiment. Didn't I take Purity itself? Yes, I did. Purify. For some reason I thought I hadn't seen it yet, but I totally have. Okay, let's play the Galvanized Blade. Do I explode here? I might voluntarily explode here. Because doing that gets me, it costs me a powerful, but it gets me a bunch of extra cards to work with. Yeah, that's worth it. Boop. And then yeah, we can do this, which will do all of those all that tormented gloves value. And we get to play at least one of these. Which, good enough. Okay. Supercharge to the rescue as far as mana goes. Okay. Oh, I thought I had... Oh, it didn't create the charge up. That's what was missing. I'm debating if this is my last charge up card. I think it is. I think I need that mana. This is going to give us 6 Arcane, which will blow us up, unless we do this first. So this gives us a bunch of shield, which is something I want. We won't be able to play this, but... Or not both of it, but... We get to draw 2 cards. Alright, that worked out. And now we get to... I should have sequenced this differently so I could have gotten more charge ups. That's lethal. And then... Yeah, we don't quite get to kill this turn, but we do conveniently get to take exactly as much damage as we have health. Which is always a nice sign. And I'm pretty sure at this point that this is just lethal. So yeah, not completely clean fights, but still going well. I don't know that we have enough tough to justify the Pulverize. We definitely can't justify another Descent. We'll take the Arcane Silence. We'll take the Duplicitome, because that's just always good. I think now we do have to upgrade the Descent. I think we're not playing enough fights where we are getting to the point where we're using it. I think that the Bombardment has to go just because it's just too much mana. We just cannot justify that much mana. I mean, the Shocking Focus will help a little bit with that, but I don't think it'll help enough. And again, like this awkward thing, which is like we got exactly the wrong cards to go with this. But and we can do this, which will get us another one. And we can enter. Okay. I should be spyglassing the Power Surge now that I think about it. Just had forgot that whole thing where I get used to not having it and then I have it and I forget to use it. Let's... Alright, this is not going to... I think... Oh no, it'll pop the statuses because it already had a little bit from other stuff. Which is nice. And then we just immediately get a whole bunch of extra charge, which is nice. Draw 1 card. Okay, this doesn't blow us up anymore because the old version of that card would have blown us up because it used to be 8, but now it is not that much. Okay. So here's what I think we do. Charge Strike. Then we we don't have enough space in hand. We hunt and then we Galv Blade. So we have space for that. Which then we focus and we absorb element, which will do some day ruining. We purify, which is going to shock. And then I guess we just do that. Draw cards. I guess we're just pulling out of this mode. Just get mana out of it, I guess. Oh, this is actually not a bad way to end the turn. That does get us that shock. Playing this out gets us an energy, which, sure, fine. Probably didn't need to do that, but we could. So we did. Now we just have to find lethal, which shouldn't be too difficult. Okay. We still have this hammer we haven't used. Did we have to do that? No, but it made me laugh, so we're doing it. Not really laugh, but whatever. Okay. Oh. That did make me laugh. We're just like going through all these machinations to just immediately win. Lightning Breath is too much mana. We cannot afford it. I like the deck. We're moving on. We may get Shocking Focus next time. Because the thing is, my logic with why I didn't go for it is that we have a 30% chance for a reroll from either of them, which means that we have a 3 and 10, or 7 is 49 over. So roughly a 50% chance that between the two of them, we get a reroll. And we have a 50% chance from each of them that we get the Shocking Focus we want, which means that between those two things, the reroll chance and the Shocking Focus chance, there is a 87.5% 7 out of 8 chance that we will get a Shocking Focus between those two elite fights, which is odds I am willing to take, even though it is looking like it may not end up actually paying out. And we're going to double this Power Surge, just get a whole bunch of powerful. I should have duplatomed it. We could have gotten even more powerful. Could have become more powerful than you can possibly imagine. But alas, I am only here to misplay. And so that is what I did. And now naturally that's the thing we find, which is going to blow us up. But I think we just have to do it. Boop. And then I need to get my cat out from in front of my screen so that I can see. I'm deciding if it's worth duplatoming these two. I think it probably actually is. I think this is going to do a lot of damage. I don't know if it's going to quite be lethal, but I think it's going to be close. Let's start with the focus, because this is going to generate mana, and so I have no clue if I'm even going to get to 0 again after this happens, because I'm too lazy to do the math up on how many total Tormenting Glove procs I was going to get. And then, yeah, we're just going to get the kill. Again, it's very important to me that I spend a bunch of time sitting there calculating the line before just winning. Gathering Bolt's actually very good with Tormenting Gloves. Okay, so we just need to find basically any mana here. That'll work. And we can actually supercharge here, which seems good. Because then we get to do this dance again, where everything goes boom. And we get 1,000,000 billion mana. Alright, let's see, that is, we need to get to 26. That'll get us there. So that's going to be pop, and then pop, which will kill you. Which will draw us cards. We didn't even have to do a follow-up there to get that. And this one's frozen, so we don't have to care about it. Yeah, the nice thing about starting with that one thing in our starting deck, with this card in our starting deck, is that like we are not dependent on having to find it later, which is a problem that you hit with lists otherwise that are trying to do nonsense. Unfortunately, I think we're going to end up at not the right numbers for... Well, I could just dual tome the double slash plus. That seems okay, actually. Power Surge, Power Surge. I really need to upgrade the Power Surge if I'm going to be duplitoming it. Let's do this. Detonates twice because it's our mana back. Which, believe it or not, that time, for real, I did actually calculate. I was actually thinking about that when I was figuring out what I was doing. I may as well, I should have gotten that shield in advance just to get the extra level 10 Paladin bonus to it. Okay. Draw a bunch of cards. Let's remove a little bit of status because we are overcharged, so drawing cards is going to generate more shock, which we don't actually care that much about. It's mostly just a matter of... Actually, I guess we're just going to do that, so it doesn't matter at all. It's just a matter of having control of being able to reduce it for the purposes of, like, using Purify. There we go. Alright, let's see how far our luck is in. We got a Lucky Charm, and we got the Striking Focus. Okay, so we got two of the things that were rolls that would get us there. Frost Robes, there we go. Now we don't even need... Now we can get the Frost Strike. And, like... Theoretically, we could roll Arcane Robes, which I think is the only thing that would supersede Frost Robes in terms of value for us at this point. But that seems like a low enough probability happening. You know, let's just go all the way on this. And then the question is, what are we duplitoming? Aside from the Power Surge, is it just the Sanctity? That doesn't feel right. That may be... Like, duplitoming that doesn't seem that useful, because I don't know that we can afford it. Twice, even with the, whatever. We're just going to do this. So then we get Powerful, Powerful. We're now up to 9 Powerful, which means that is... pretty good. Pop twice. Oh right, you have this annoying shield as well, so we can't get through to you to get that off. Oh well. Or Hunt, which both of those were stymied by. Things. Okay, so let's... Yeah, all of my Paladin decks this patch end up becoming these Distill Elements decks, because Distill Elements is absolutely getting nerfed by the time this hits live, because it consistently just does this nonsense where you just get to ignore everything else that's going on in favor of nonsense. Yeah, let's get that out. Unfortunately, yeah, these guys come out. And we don't have... And we're just actually going to have to take damage here. That's actually the first time we're going to take damage this fight. This run. This number is unfortunate because these guys... Or the fact that these guys are both trying to burn us is unfortunate. Because it means there's a chance that we end up just getting really dumpstered. I think we need the extra supercharge Although that may prove to have been a mistake. This doesn't mean that we can't get out of. No, that was a mistake. I would have liked to have actually gotten shield there. And I would have actually liked to have drawn more cards. It's fine. But we did take yeah, a decent amount of damage there. That one's on me. We didn't have to eat that damage. I just had to play smarter. Which was never going to happen. I refuse to play smart. That's just not a thing I believe in doing. But and now we're shocked, so this is going to do monstrous damage. But you're also doing monstrous damage, so, you know, fair's fair. The other thing is because the scale's based on our burn, by removing so much of our burn, we are very handily shutting down the ability to actually get hit here. Because like we're going to take another point of burn damage. We're going to knock off another burn stack here, which means we're going to take basically... Oh, we're not going to take any damage. We're just going to do that. You know, whatever works. Heal back a little bit of the health we took. Is this gonna, that's only one detonation, so it won't pay for itself. Just get that out of the deck. Okay. So yeah, misplayed this fight. I really think that we could have gotten, because we've gotten both of the drakes down, we're just in a much stronger spot there. That explodes us right now, which we can play this to get around that. Get another shield. Now we can draw some cards. Still not 2 detonations. Is this 2 detonation? Or sorry, is this 2 detonation? Yes. And then lethal. Okay. Demonic Power's not bad. But I really kind of want to reroll for Fiery Presence. I forgot we had Vindictive Order. That's how we're getting all of our health back immediately. Duh. I think Fiery Presence is just kind of a nonsense card. And so we're going to take a Fire Presence, and we're going to upgrade it, because Fire Presence Plus is even more of a nonsense card. Like, I wanted to upgrade the Power Surge, but Fire Presence Plus is just such ridiculous craziness, which you'll see here in a moment. Okay. What do you think? Sorry, my brain went off on a completely unrelated tangent. So the first note here is we're only going to get one shot at Paladin no matter which way you slice it, which is sad. We are not fighting, we're fighting Baelator instead of Maw, which means that we don't care as much about Cleanse. I almost always am going to go this way for the Corrupted Font. I think that's just so much stronger than these cards. Like, this card is niche. It's occasionally useful, but it's generally pretty narrow. And then this card is good but slow. Whereas both of these tend to be pretty good regardless of what you're doing. I mean, yes, Ruinous Gamble is risky, but, you know, I'm not a coward. I don't really want to do 2 of these fights, but I think I'm fine with it. I keep trying to figure out a way to line up 2 of these events, post mid-boss events, and we just can't, which means we just kind of have to roll the dice. I don't really want to deal with Prowlers if I don't have to, so we're going to take the route that doesn't force us to deal with Prowlers. Okay. Step 1. Cards. Pop you for value. This actually works out very neatly, because this is going to give us an amount that we can, because now we're not going to get any more whatever. Although the fact that we can't, we're going to have to just play this now is unfortunate. Ideally we would have played this for all the value. But, trying to think if there's a way for us to get... Well, we have the turtle shell. I think we're just going to spyglass this, and then duplitoming that doesn't do anything for us. I don't know that duplitoming at all is worthwhile here. So we do get +4 here, which means that this is going to be a total of actually exactly 10, which is very nice. Or, oh, 13 because of... I didn't think, because we only have the +9%. Oh, from that. So we get 1%, one from this bonus, and then 2 from the gloves. I forgot about the gloves. Let's get that critical for free. Okay. This will kill. And we just get some shield. Just anything to end the fight here. That won't actually do it on its own. Yeah, because we need like 1 more damage. There we go. Arms race I kind of like a lot. Oh, we need to cut the Frost Strike. That's the card that we needed to cut, and my brain just completely blanked out when we got to that point. Because yeah, that card just doesn't do much for us. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to copy this, and then we're going to duplicome it, which is utterly unreasonable. This is just not a fair thing to do. But we did it anyway. Yeah, we just have so much draw here, and so much free burn. Let's go ahead and hang up this for the powerful. Sure. Yeah, because everything we play just gives us a bunch of, just puts a bunch of burn on our enemies. Play another one. Tag you. Draw some cards. I'm going to actually blow you up twice, because that way we get all the value. I should have sequenced that differently. But it's fine. And yeah, now we just went off of, I think, the raw damage on these. Not quite, but very close. Yeah, because we can supercharge and that'll give us the extra damage we need. Yep, Fiery Presence is completely reasonable and balanced. Second Absorb Element we can't really support. But it would let us cut the Purify, which seems fine. I don't want to have a smaller max hand size. That seems very bad. And I think I like the things that we have more than I like the Mind Rune, although we don't really need the Vindictive Aura. And Starting Adept has some value for us for things like the Absorb Element. I don't really care about these cards here. I mean, they're kind of good with the Fiery Presence, but I think we just demonstrated we don't need support for the Fiery Presence. The Fiery Presence is support for the Fiery Presence. Okay, so this is just straight up 2 detonations. So this is where we consider spyglassing this and just getting a stupid amount of value. Like, it's not whatever value, it's not like Fiery Presence value, but it is still incredible. So that's what we're going with. Wee, shocking things. Yeah, kind of afraid of that. That was kind of inevitably what we were going to get. Pop. Ah, so close. Okay. Okay, we are still going to duplicome this. And then I think we're playing this. Probably not playing both, but we're playing one. We just want to draw another card. It's very good. Sure, we'll play one of these. It's not really what I wanted to do, but it gets us card draw. Not costing us health. Okay, so we can now supercharge. Which, you know, always a good place to be. We can draw one card and then get a bunch of mana back by doing that. And we set up a bunch of burn, which means that this is now just going to do ludicrous damage. Goodbye. Another power surge seems fine. I don't think we're going to need that, especially because we're not fighting Maw. We might need it if we end up fighting CPU, but there's a relatively small chance we fight CPU. Like, even if we assume that the CPU fight has spawned, there's only a 1 in 3 chance we end up fighting it here. Alright, I think we are just going to not go overboard here. We're just going to get more shield. It's not enough shield, but we don't take too much damage here. Okay. Let's see. Oh, wrong button. Let's start with this. So that gets a lot of bonuses. Bonus value. Oh, this is going to explode. We're going to take some damage. That's going to be unfortunate. Oh well. Like, this is where Vindictive Aura would have been actually useful if I hadn't decided to get rid of it out of hubris. But on the other hand, like, we're not in danger. Let's go bonk. You just took like a tiny amount of damage there. First start seems fine. Okay, yeah, more card draw. We really need to upgrade this other Voltaic Surge because it just gets, I mean, we can do that. Because just the ability to force this supercharge out is very nice. I'm gonna be even willing to shock us to do that again. Unfortunately, we're now out of card draw. But we get to go boom, and then boom, and then boom, and then boom. And we just get some mana and get one of our energy back. So we are good to go into this turn. Would love to find... Well, we'll just do this. And then Duplicitome. I guess those two. Because these are not doing much for us right now. And so that gets us some mana back. And then playing this is also going to get us some mana back, actually, because it's going to shock. Oop. I'll just bonk you and draw some cards. Can't quite get lethal there. Oh, no, we can, because we have that critical chance. There we go. We now can absorb element to get some value. Oh, I should have done this just for the 15% bonus from the Paladin passive. There we go. Yeah, I think we just take the Corrupted Font. It's just so much mana. Yeah, Aether Mantle's kind of tempting, but Frostrobe is just incredibly good. And we aren't doing that much. We are playing some cards that are raw status. Like, this is far from a bad card for us. It works with the Shocking Focus. It works with the Arcane Silence and the Absorb Elements. And the the Gathering Bolt. But I think that overall, well, we can just not cut the Frost Strike. Yeah, that seems okay, actually. And then we're going to upgrade. I've said there are a lot of things we were going to upgrade. I think the other Voltaic Surge is the priority just because that draws us those cards. I think you're cutting the Purify because we do have 2 Absorb Elements now in addition to the Distill, and I think that is enough ways to burn that. I think we're just going to go... I don't really like dealing with snails either. What are those fights? They're both just straight Shadowbone Elemental. There aren't any other enemies there. We can just try and rely on finding a way to freeze this jerk out, which may or may not happen. Okay. Tome. I guess just those 2. Rude. Okay. Let's go ahead and get your whatever gone. Get a lot of mana back here. We can afford to take like at least one hit from this guy, which is nice. Because we're going to have to, I think. We can supercharge. This is actually very good because this is going to freeze. Which means that you aren't going to be able to do anything to us. Idiot. Go ahead and kill you so you'll stop stealing whatever procs. Alright. Okay. This will shock us. But it lets us supercharge again. Which... I'm pretty sure that's always worth it. We're going to go ahead and do this. Yeah, we just have lethal. How many power surges do we have now? Just we have 2? Do we need another one? Persecute seems okay, actually. That does a decent amount of things for us. Cool. We got CPU. So this is the quote-unquote hidden boss fight. It is fairly difficult to pull off usually, although I think we're in a decent position to do it, although I am not. So the big thing is it starts with Opportunist, which means that it can be, these first couple turns can be a little bit risky. So this will do, I don't think this freezes. No, which is actually kind of what I wanted. We kind of want to freeze out probably next turn. That's a decent turn 1. Okay, so this is going to draw us cards. Which is just going to have to be enough. Although, I would really like the ability to get into Supercharge again. And this is where not having the Frost Rune does really hurt us. Because if we could force out that, we would be very happy. So we're just going to have to do that. And now we are going to have to deal with the friend next turn, the summons. And I can't afford to play that. Okay. So these guys are going to be a pain now. Because now freezing is much, much harder because that got set up. And we don't have the draw that we need in order to really get rolling. This will get us some value. But unfortunately we wasted the freeze. Because of the purity. But I think it was worth it. Although, yeah, this is where things get rough. Because, yeah, we just didn't find card draw on those turns, which is unfortunate. very limiting on what we were able to do. Okay. So, duplicitome, and those two. So this is the nice thing about the Fiery Presence is that it very quickly chews through all of the purity. And we do have Frost Rune up, which is nice. And now. Okay. You're gone. You're gone. And then with this will get us this freeze here. Which means that now, play another one of these. And that's going to get through the shield, which you'll notice shield immediately comes back up again, and we get even further cursed, just because that's how this fight goes. We get Sanctuary, which will deal with a lot of that curse. Alright, that cleans us off even further. Let's deal with some of this fortress that is obviously a little bit of a problem. We are 1 mana short. There we go. Can't we just do that, I think? And get the 1 mana. And yeah, so that was an okay turn. That went a long way towards clearing up the position we were in, because we were in a slightly rough spot there. Oh, I probably didn't actually need to play that. I was thinking that we were deeper in the hole than we were. Okay. Play that. So much frost out. Pop more of the fortress. So we just... The fortress means that every time we get fatigue, this jerk draws more cards, which is obviously annoying. I think we do go ahead and play this. And then... yeah. This would shock us, which may be worth it. And he draws more cards. Yeah, let's do that. We're now very, very fatigued. But I think that was all pretty good. Draw. All right. Let's bonk. God, we're getting just such incredible use out of the Tormenting Gloves. And then I wish I could see how much this is going to cost once we come out of Supercharge. I think we may just want to get the extra mana here. Okay, so it is free. So I was hoping. Sequencing things wrong. Oh. This should probably get us to lethal. Yep. Frost Strike, getting us the kill. Give me a second. Alright. Kill. And then, that's pretty good, but I don't think we actually want it more than the things we already have. We'll just discard that, actually. No, I don't think so. Mystical Bloom, though, we will take, because that does a lot of work. I think we want to upgrade the Galvanized Blade. And I don't think we have anything we really want to remove. Like the Persecute's a little iffy, but don't think it's a huge concern. And then this fight actually could do a little bit of damage to us. I think we should mostly be fine, but I mean, that hand is not a promising start. I'll tell you that much. Guess we kind of need that shield. Go ahead and pop you again. In the turn. Okay. Boom, boom, boom. Okay. Doing this so that I can get that out. And then I guess we're gonna get powerful. And then we can cleanse ourselves, or we can, I think we're just gonna absorb element here. Just really abusing the sheer amount of additional status we have. I think we probably end up hammering the Sanctity here. That's just going to get rid of the most curse. Let's cleanse ourselves twice. And then this will get rid of the rest of our curse. Alright, there's that. Which I do think is a priority to get out sooner rather than later. We do have to have space for it. Yeah, even though we're going to have to give up supercharged stuff for it, I think it's worth it. I think we are fine tracking ourselves. And then, as usual, we're going to duplicate tome. Fiery Presence for value. You're dead. Sure, we'll take some powerful. Okay. Play another one. Love a strike to go with this. Looks like that's not going to happen. There we go. Just kidding. We found one. Alright. Alright. Pretty good turn, all in all, I would say. Although that turn was much worse. Happens. Okay. So, it's time to do this dance. Let's start by... Sure, get that powerful out. And then, cleanse ourselves. And then just kill with the Conflagrate hits, or with the Fiery Presence hits. I mean, more powerful? Sure. This doesn't do anything for us. None of this really does anything for us. We'll discard that. Do the same fight again. Like, having the Vindictive Oral like would have made us a little safer. It just comes down to the thing that we don't need it. And I didn't really want to, like, I wanted to have trinkets that we needed more than I wanted to have trinkets that were like useful but not mandatory to the deck, if that makes sense. Okay, let's get mana. Yeah, because you're gonna have to just start burning this sooner than I would like, but because I would obviously like to be able to stack up the conflagration before I start ticking that over, but although it kind of makes sense to just go ahead and play that just for the extra powerful, because we are playing so many extra hits. Oh, let's get the extra shield out. Mana? There's some mana. Okay. So we now can supercharge, but if we do, we don't have any way to actually play the thing, so there we go. Now supercharging actually does something. Okay. Let's go ahead and cleanse ourselves. Oh, missed out on that. Okay. This doesn't actually do that much, but sure, why not? It's more than I thought it was going to do. Alright, we are now... We are actually going to be able to supercharge here. We just have to hope this finds us something relevant. That'll count. Go do that. More value. Yeah, we don't really have enough card draw to keep rolling, which is, I think, our biggest problem right now. So anytime that we aren't able to just immediately end problems, we end up having to massively spin out turns, but we have enough freeze that it hasn't been a huge concern. It's one of those decks where it's like, if we were going longer than, if there was something beyond depth 3, this deck would not be holding together, but there isn't, so let's see, there are probably cards that should be cutting here. If I'm being honest, the follow-up strike has been not amazing. I don't know if we can do the absorb element consistently. I think follow-up strike can go. I think, although it is 0 cost, which is relevant, but I mean, it's too late now. It's gone. Too lazy to remove any other cards, I think. Although I really should. That's pretty good. Extra arcane applied by cards. We have several. It doesn't apply, importantly, to Descent. No. No. We don't need any of that. Sure, more wits buff. Why not? Is there anything we need to cut? I think Hunt's actually not that great. I mean, it is a way to get critical, but I don't know that that matters. Okay, so ideally we start with, we're able to find, I think the card that we most want to find early would be Fiery Presence, just because it gives us a way to eat through whatever fairly quickly. Okay, so the important note here is we get the weak, because the weak is the thing that we actually care about. Okay, so there is, So I get cursed because I said that we wanted the fiery presence, and here we are, and we cannot use the fiery presence, and we can't even really play many cards to get value out of it right now. And we're just gonna take some damage. Okay. Okay. That's gonna happen. I think we do this into this so we can avoid playing, hopefully we can find, yeah, and absorb elements, which will let us avoid having to shock ourselves. I think we're going to hammer the bloom. That's not, I don't know what I just used, but it wasn't the hammer. What did I just, oh, I actually set up spyglass. Whoops, that is not what I meant to do. I feel dumb. I feel like that's the thing I do a lot is like I reach over here for a trinket and I just click the wrong trinket. Oh, we're definitely going to hammer the bloom. I don't actually hate having two of those though, I think. It does mean we're in danger of shocking ourselves, but... Anyway. And by in danger of shocking ourselves, I mean we are absolutely going to shock ourselves at some point during this turn. And by at some point during our turn, I mean right now. More powerful. Okay. Oh, the arcane. I was like, how did we even get arcane from our strikes? So we can do this and then finish off with Mystical Bloom for a bunch, which seems reasonable. And then Fiery Presence is at the bottom. Or no, it was at the top of the deck. And that's right. We drew the Fiery Presence just very on turn one when we couldn't use it. I love when Descent is on the very bottom of the deck, which means that you have to loop it again before you're actually ever going to get value. And by love it, I mean that I don't like it. Okay. Cool. Look, it's not my fault. I know this was supposed to be a multi-hit deck. I know it ended up being an Absorb Elements deck. I just really enjoy building Absorb Elements decks, okay? Okay? It's not my fault. Look, one day, the game gave me all of these things. It didn't give me Relentless Assault. It didn't give me Elemental Strike. This isn't my fault. I was forced into it. That's my excuse. So yeah, that is the run. It was a fairly successful run as these things go. And that is it for today. And I will see you guys next time. Toodles.